Why is it now? It's still. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. And it is Friday, the 2nd of December. No, January. I messed up already. 2nd of January. And I'm just going to get some of the video filters done. There's one of this auto framing. I want that off. That's what I want. Yeah. So, guys, I was saying before I hit the record button, did you spend your New Year in your pajamas, just sitting in the house binging television shows, or did you do something interesting? I spent the whole New Year's Day in. I was at home. I watched the fireworks from my terrace, and I actually made something to eat about quarter to midnight and just sat there eating and watching it all. So it was good. And then I went to bed. Um, but this sounds really petty now, but it's so much work, isn't it? Answering all the Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. It's like that's one of the down things of Christmas and New Year. It's the messages that come in on the phone. You don't get a minute's peace, do you? I guarantee there's still 20 that I haven't got around to saying Happy New Year. And when I see them, it's like, oh, you never answered me. So what can I tell you about that? It's unfortunate, but it's the price you pay for being popular, isn't it, really? For being a popular person. Are you a popular person? A PP? Do you want to hear about what I did today? I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. I'm going to do some of the questions and notes that they've been sending me. But I took a 2 hour Zoom call with a woman from Slovenia who spoke perfect English. And I accessed my Akashic records. And oh my God, what an experience. Now, I can't meditate. I mean, I can't, I won't say can't, I don't. I've never been able to have a successful mind out of body meditational experience, even though many people have offered, and it just doesn't fit in with what I feel is right. So today, when I did this, it was a mild guided meditation. You just basically open up all your chakras and just focusing in on those. But I learned so much today. About the energy. People have been interfering. Oh my God, the amount of interfering energies that we had to clear. We had to do everything twice. Um, I'm just thinking now, should I talk about this for security reasons? I'll tell you some of it. But I discovered certain people have been playing around with my energy fields. I discovered a lot of people that watch my material hate me, literally hate me, can't stand me, and are jealous and give the evil eye. But they can't take their eyes off me either because they have a jealousy thing. And has anybody seen anybody trying to imitate me, copycat me? I haven't seen any of that. But apparently, there's some copycat people out there trying to do the same thing and even dressing like me and trying to change the way that they talk so they talk like me. I mean, why we could? I'm like, are you sure? Yeah, she said there's copycatters, and you'll start to see more as you get more and more busy and popular. But with stuff like that, I'm always flattered. In my supplements business, do you know how many people have copied my parasite course? I used to have two ingredients in the parasite cleanse. Now I've got 14, and nobody can compete with that because the stuff that we put in there is just not easy to do, and it's expensive. We manage to keep the price down because we buy massive amounts of it. So some of the incarnations. So let me talk to you about the Kashmir records. What happens is you go in and you get access to past lives and past traumas and understanding some of the things that are carried through into this life. So the whole idea of the exercise is to go through all of your past lives, more or less, and get them all on the table and say, okay, please forgive me for all of the things that I've done in my past lives. And then there's a ceremony and some words, and a few angels show up. Gabriel was there. Michael escorted somebody out of the meeting at the end, a female that wasn't really so happy to be there. My mother was there. That was good. Um, but there was medieval, Roman, which makes sense because I got to think about ancient Rome. There was just before the time of Jesus. I don't want to share that one, but it was very important. Um, she said, "Looks like you're wearing clothes from Aladdin, so it was a Middle East, which is another place where I had a passion for. Ancient Egypt wasn't mentioned, but we only just chose a few, the ones that were more strongly coming in, which were relevant. So I learned quite a lot about all of that. There was a brother and sister incident when I died when I was 8 and in a drowning. And this my sister was supposed to be looking after me and she didn't, so she never got over it. But a lot of the time in all of these past lives, it's the same energy because you can have a family, friends that are brother and sister in one life, but the next lifetime they're lovers, husbands, wives. It's always kind of the same. So if somebody's really interested in doing this, I will talk to this lady because I was very, very happy. I was going to say blown away, but a lot of this stuff I've kind of had a feeling for years about. So it's not like, if she said, "Oh, you were Cleopatra," I'd be surprised. Most of my incarnations have been men. There wasn't one where I was the woman. It was always the male. And she said, "You were brutal because you lived in a lot of times where people had to be brutal, you know." There was a lot of royal lineage. She said, a lot of time you went. Why does it say my internet connection is unstable? That's not that's not cool. So if anybody is interested in that, oh, we got loads of messages in the chat. Um, I will see if I can get a sort of group rate set up. Um, and I think it's a good idea to do it because you can clear a lot of things out of it because I needed to block a lot of energy that was stopping me. And I knew where they were and who they were. I just needed to get into it more and I needed to stop it. And now I've been given a protocol to stop them coming back, but it never really stopped me anyway. It was just like a toothache. It kind of niggled at because she said you're very, very strong, your energetic levels and mental. Um, yeah, so I'll let you know about that. Okay. So that's that. 10 minutes of rambling on there. Now, tomorrow's a full moon, and I'm not going to pretend I know anything about all that. I'm just saying I like full moons. It's good, isn't it? So tomorrow's full moon. There's my full moon background. That's why that's up there. How many people have watched the Jordan Desert episode? Put your hand up. I'll put your message there. Mm, turmeric, that's so good. Well, it's actually curcumin, that stuff. Anti-inflammatory I'm taking for a shoulder and arm in you. Yeah, so the Jordan-ish episode is up. If you haven't watched it, guys, you got to go watch it. It's 28 minutes long. It basically starts out with me in Egypt. Why does it keep doing that? Starts out with me in Egypt saying, okay, it's time to leave Egypt now and go to Jordan. Come on, camera. There's something going on with this camera, guys. I don't know what it is. I think it's the cable. There we go. No, that's the old one. So if you haven't watched it, you got to go. Camera doesn't like your face. You got to go back in and watch it. It's on the YouTube channel, um, and it's a really good one. I put some good music on there. There's some drone shots on there as well. Drone shots are not mine, by the way. I had to borrow those. There's huge signs when you go to these Middle Eastern countries. No drones allowed. No drones allowed. So the drone isn't mine, but I managed to get some good footage, um, and I've used that in there. Now, I've got episode 2 coming up. We've also got episode 2 of Decoding Andalusia coming up. As soon as my damned editor gets back, my Polish guy gets back from vacation, a holiday visit. He's actually in the UK. I don't know why I think. Are you joking me? This camera. Why does it keep doing that? Now we're back on the old one. I'm gonna have to fix this because I go on. It's gonna drive me bananas. So I'm gonna twiddle around and fix that. Excuse the amateur hour. And I'm gonna change that for that. And that, you see, because the look, it's got this cord, and I think that's what it is. It's pulling itself around. Um, it'll kick in now. That should do it. That's probably what I was doing wrong way around. Um, Michael, um, and Julie from Ireland popped over. I had what's his last name? They were doing the collective consciousness in Ireland, and I met them 3 years ago. And they said, David, we're in Malaga. Let's have a lunch. So I drove down and had an amazing lunch with them. So great to catch up with them too. They're so nice. But they told me an interesting thing that's going on in Ireland, which I'm going to get involved with. St. Patrick was, still is, the patron saint of Ireland. 17th of March is St. Patrick's Day, and he's celebrated all around the world and as an amazing saint. But the truth about St. Patrick is far from it. Far from it. The truth about St. Patrick is he was a butcher and he was hired by the Catholic Church, the Pope at the time, to go into Ireland and execute all of the pagan bloodline, which were the Druids. So he was successful, more or less. He went in and butchered them all. So there's a huge movement going on now between the rising divine feminine, as much as I don't like that sort of, well used, I'm a spiritual guru language. Women in Ireland are the ones that are kicking back and pushing back against all the tyranny that's going on and trying to dilute the Celtic bloodline. So it's St. Bridget's Day, and I'm going to be in Ireland at the end of January to film some of that and see what energetics I can put in or pull out or share or download or upgrade. So because Ireland is a country that's very I've got that soul connection. English people are, I have a lot of English friends, but they just don't think it had a patch unless I was shown the wrong stuff. But I was like, yeah, well, this isn't that good. There's only a six. It's only a six. So I'm going to be there at the end of January. That's the only trip I've got planned, the end of January in Ireland. And it's February the 1st is St. Bridget's Day. And I was given a really nice, let's see if I've got it. I've got it in my jacket. Hold on a second. I was given a really nice brooch by Julie and Ian. Julie and Ian, that's my other friends. Julie and Michael. I'll get that away from the microphone because it's crackly. It's crackly. And this is a Celtic symbol. That's one of my favorites. Look, I'll put that up to the camera. Let's see if it can pull focus. Nope. Let's see if it'll go in like that. It's kind of a swirly Celtic cross. I've got to do that because the camera works backwards. Anyway, it goes here on a jacket, and that's the St. Bridget, the Celtic symbols. Love that. So if you're watching, guys, you got it. I'm going to put it. I don't have a jacket to put it into. I'm not going to pierce my leather one, but I love it. So that's the plan I've got so far. I haven't made any other travel plans for 2026. I don't know how many countries I was in 2025. I know I was in, how many was I in 2024? I had the number then. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. 26 countries, 2024, sounds like. So didn't the year go fast though? It went bananas fast, isn't it? Now, here's something that I mentioned in the Christmas video. 2025 was the year of the snake. And what happens with the year of the snake? Well, what happens with a snake? A snake is a snake. Sneaky. Can't trust it. Sheds its skin. It rebirths itself, doesn't it? It's like rebirth. Now, I don't know about you, but ask yourself this. How many people in 2025 absolutely disappointed you or showed you a side of them that you're like, wow, why have I never seen that before? It's so true, isn't it? It's happened quite a few people in my life. I've mentioned before. So there was a nice little energy shift there when I went into that energetics of that. It's totally healed that now. Whenever I used to mention that, I used to go, "Mm." But it's gone. Healed, forgiven, let go. Don't care. Really just Your decision, pal, not mine. Thing about Mahoney is it's better not to fall out with him because you'll find that you'll probably need him, and then you're like, God damn it, I wish I hadn't said that to him. Happens all the time. Um, we kind of giggle about it all the time. So 2025 was a year of people taking off the mask, showing you who they really were. But did you do it to them? Did you show them who you really were? And it doesn't necessarily have to be in a bad way. It's just the way that we portray it. And I just said it like that makes it come out like 2025 was the year that people showed you how shit they were. Most of the time it was like that, but it doesn't have to be like that. So, did you show people who you really were in 2025? Because now in 2026, you're definitely going to have to follow. You're going to have to follow through with it and show them that, yeah, you are that person that who changed. And that is that way. So I put down some little notes about this because it's now 2026, second day in, and it's a new start. You've got a new year. You've got a new opportunity to bloom and flourish in who you really should be. So again, people use it. Oh, today I saw a woman jogging, and you could tell it was the last time she had a jog was a long time ago. I thought she was going to keel over and die, but I thought, you know what? Bless her, because she's trying at least, isn't she? She's got up this morning and said, right, that's it. I've had a boozy Christmas and a boozy New Year and loads of things. I'm getting up on the second and I'm going jogging. Jogging. So she was doing it. So good for her. I went to the gym today. I had a really good workout. Um, and then I went in to check on my cars because I've got something happening on a specialized group coming on the 11th. So I've got that. And then I kind of did the 2 hour session with the soul reading, the Ascaric records, and then I'm here. So it's a new year, guys. Be that new person, and this is where we're going to go tonight as much as we can. So people disappoint, though, don't they? Because when I think back to what's happened, even today, I heard another story where like people disappointing you, but we still act like it's a surprise. You know what? I think it's more likely that people will always disappoint you because if you've got a high level of expectations, and I had this discussion with somebody today, they said, "Well, so what's your problem?" I was saying, "Well, look, I have expectations of how people should behave. I would expect them to have a high moral line, fortitude, honor, strength, honesty, truth, all of these main issues these main personality traits that we want to have for people around us. But people disappoint you, don't they? They end up usually disappointing you, saying, oh, you know what, fuck's sake, he didn't do that, he didn't do this, or she didn't do that, or now I found out that she's been married 3 times, she never mentioned that. And all of these little examples, if it's an example that's happened in my life, guys, I'll tell you, I've never been involved with anybody who's been married 3 times, all right? So don't think I'm talking in code and dropping little hints in here. I will tell you very straight, if it's a situation or an emotional connection that's happened to me, I'll say, this happened to me. So I've had messages saying, oh, this is how, we stop. No, that's not what I said. So people disappoint, and you got to expect people to disappoint you. You're better off expecting people to let you down than to be disappointed because they've let you down. You're better off saying, "Oh, I was expecting you to mess that up, but great. My new wooden floors look amazing. I didn't believe you could do it. That's great." Because that's easier to handle, isn't it, on an emotional, connectional level. People will disappoint you. But flip it round. Have you disappointed people? Even if you think that you haven't, because you've held your moral ground, you've continued enforcing your boundaries for people not to cross and abuse you, take the piss in English, we would say. But you see, their interpretation of it is, well, I was expecting him to be able to, put me up this Christmas at their house, and he said no because he wants to spend some quality Christmas time with his wife and kids. So where am I going to sleep? I had to get a hotel. That son of a bitch. And that's it. You'll disappoint people too, but they'll interpret interpret your actions as being the disappointer because it doesn't fit in with their little plan, does it? So you got to remind them about that. And you say, "Oh, you're disappointed because you came here expecting that you could stay with me for 2 weeks for free in the high season to use my car, drive around, and me filling up the fridge for all your kids and your uh, Coca-Colas and Fantas all holiday." That happens a lot in the summer to me. People come in and say, "Yeah, you got a spare car or bike there, my honey? I'm coming to town." I say, "No, I don't." I do, but now I say, "No, I don't," and this is the reason. If you want to pay for the insurance and all the other stuff and are you going to break it? If it break it, are you going to mend it? No, you won't. You just say, "Oh, it doesn't work anymore. You fix it." This is not a rent a car. That's the thing that rent a car companies take the risk on. You rent the car, you pay for it. If it breaks, they pay for it. Unless you crash it, but mechanically, as long as you're doing everything inside the operational parameters, it's their responsibility. So, did you disappoint people? And if they make you feel guilty about it, stand your ground and say, "Look, unfortunate." You don't even have to say sorry. Say, "It's unfortunate that you feel that way." That's what I say a lot. I don't say, "I'm sorry you feel that way," unless it's someone I care about. But "Oh, you're too much money." It's unfortunate you feel that way because I don't, and I'm not going to do that. And it's unfortunate it doesn't fit with your plan. So what can I tell you? Um, so bear that in mind. People will disappoint you. Don't allow them to disappoint you by expecting them to not fulfill their agreement or you to be disappointed. Now, that sounds really terrible, doesn't it? It sounds like it's really negative, kicking off the new year with a negative, low vibrational statement like that. But you've got to protect yourself. This is it. You have to protect your feelings and you've got to protect yourself. True or not true? It's true, no? It's true. Now, again, 2026 question. Are you prepared to learn new things in 2026? Did you learn anything new in 2025? And I'm not talking about new information about the royal family or the information about Trump's election results. I'm talking about on a spiritual connection level. Did you learn anything new in 2025 about yourself or about the universe, about the vibrational frequency, raising it, and any secrets and tricks? I hope you're going to say yes. But in fairness, we weren't talking only up until the last 3 months was I focused on this. So Julianne says, yes, I know you do. We talk a lot. So if you've learned new things, great. But now is absolutely the best time to learn new things. I'm going to help you with that. I'm still learning new things. I learned a ton of new things about myself today because I was proactive. I go out looking for it. You also have to trust in the divine that is going to send it to you, but you can not ignore signals when it does send it. You've got to say, "Oh, I'll have some of that. That's exactly what I want to know about. What is this?" See, I get distracted. I thought it was something else that I haven't taken today. So you've got to learn new things. And if you're not prepared to learn new things, then you better stay on the same path you're on now because you've got to keep learning. If you want to ascend on this energetic journey that we're on, then you've got to get on your energetic bike and learn new things and crack on. It's the only way we're going to do it. And to do that, you've got to understand yourself first, because then you can understand others. This is the whole sentence. Understanding yourself to understand others. So we're going to talk about that for a few minutes. Because it goes back to people will let you down. You go, I don't understand why they would do that. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Because if you understand how people are, you can predict a lot of this. It's like driving. Oh, I know. Yeah, I can see that. Guys, I the power went off in my building, and the internet's going to take a while, so I was logged in onto my phone. So excuse that. That hasn't happened before, but isn't that interesting? Because the point I was just making there, yeah, isn't that weird? The point I was making is understanding yourself to understand others. Okay, so as I said, what would you do in certain situations? What would you do if you're sitting there minding your own business and a blast from your past, an ex just texts you out of the blue? And it's usually a question like, hey, how are you? It's something small where they're testing the waters, but you're sitting there with your current partner, maybe they're on your own. It's just another test, isn't it? Do you say, hey, I'm good, thanks, what's going on? Or do you say, you just ignore it or block them? It's a hard one to do because you got to get the energetics right, haven't you? Because you'll obviously know the person very well if it's an ex. It could be your ex-husband, ex-wife, high school sweetheart, whoever. Um, cut the cords is the right answer, Julianne. But you know what? You'd be surprised how hard it is to cut cords when you're energetically entangled with somebody. It's not easy because if they don't want to, you've really got to go in there hard. And then then if you are awake, you're getting signs like license plate smell, songs like that. Oh, does that mean I'm supposed to contact them? Doesn't happen to me. I just like, yeah. I'm not confused by it. But knowing yourself and what to do in these situations is very important. So, do you know yourself? Restraining order. I don't know why I'm so thirsty. Um, what else would be a good example of that? I mean, what to do in that situation? Calling people that you shouldn't be in contact with. I kind of lost my chain of thought there. So let me get back into it because I was channeling, trying to get back into the connection. Chain of thought. Understand yourself. To understand others, because eventually the whole goal here is for you to be able to understand all of this and help others. Because my goal is to teach people what I know, and I'm learning from people that know more than me. So that's the whole goal here, to bring people back from the darkness into the light, towards the truth, towards who they really are and who they really could be, rather than taking the easy way out and just following along in that dark energy. Because you've been on that path before, and it's a familiar path. You know about it. So why would you change? So, understanding yourself and what you're going to do in these situations is really, really important. Um, and it ties into addictions. So, identifying addictions is another interesting part of your journey because addictions can be anything. When we use the word addictions, everybody always goes to alcohol and drugs, don't they? Which I'm absolutely guilty of. First thing I think of. But it could be an addiction to cleaning, could be an addiction to video games, could be an addiction to cooking. People do it all the time. What are you cooking now? You're cooking more again. We don't need any more scones, for God's sake, woman. Addictions. If you're understanding your addictions and to identify them, then you can control them because your addictions are going to take you away from where you need to focus on. And anybody that absolutely has to have something is reliant on an energy, whether it's food, narcotics, alcohol, it's an energy. And you really don't want to be focused and reliant on an energy and any specific energy unless it's absolutely always present, which would be spirit, which would be you, your essence as a divine being. So closing yourself off to situations like that. Okay, I need a drink. I need a drink. Gotta have a drink. I need a cigarette. Jeez, I gotta have a cigarette. If I don't have a cigarette, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna go mad. I'm gonna go mad. Yeah, but okay, you've just been on a 4 hour flight and you didn't have one, but you want one now. Yeah, I need one. Half an hour. I know half an hour. I need another one. So addictions are something that needs to be addressed inside yourself. Um, yeah, a line of coke for some people. That's one of the most disgusting things I think. It's a trick from the devil, cocaine, isn't it? A white powder makes everybody. If they colored it sludge toilet brown, you wouldn't be sniffing it, would you? It's only because, oh. And somebody told me that they dye cocaine pink as well, so it makes it more attractive to ladies. And did you know this about cocaine? Is when you take cocaine, it destroys the neural pathways in your brain. Now you got millions of them, millions and millions of them, but when you take it, it destroys them and they never come back. You lost them forever. So luckily, most of the people in my um, what's the word, group are way past that shit, way past it. So understanding addictions and understanding how they can interfere and distract you from your path, because that's exactly what they are. They're a distraction. They're supposed to distract you. They're supposed to keep you occupied. They're supposed to keep you distracted. That's because it's a distraction, an addiction distraction. Get them under control, whatever they are. And if you're in denial about it, then you need to take some help with it, either a family member or go to seek professional counseling. Although I'm not much of a advocate for professional counseling, I find most of these people are very weak-minded themselves. I've been in several situations with psychologists that have been sent to examine me, and I've run circles around them all, and I'm like, how the hell can you be a professional at what you do? You're fucking you're useless. I've got back into swearing a bit more with this spiritual stuff. It slips out. I don't think spirit minds. So what's next on my list? Um, Forgiving people who hurt you. Phew. It's so difficult, that, isn't it? I really, really struggle with that. But what I can tell you from my experience, it comes with time. Time forgives, or time forgives, heals all wounds, isn't it? Time forgive, keep saying it, time heals all wounds. And it's so true. There's been many people in my life that have hurt me, and now I can look back and think, I just feel sorry for you, you know? Go with God, go find your own way, stop bothering me. But even the woman today that I was doing um, the reading with, she said it's something I still struggle with myself. Still struggle myself saying, to forgive people that have done bad, stabbed you in the back, said things behind your back, or stolen from you, cheated on you, whatever. To forgive them is very challenging. It's getting easier for me because I've noticed that the emotion is you're only emotionally tied into that situation if you care. So imagine you're driving along and someone cuts you up and you're angry for a minute, and then you say, "Ah, you asshole," and then they're gone. You forget it really quickly, don't you? Because you're not emotionally entangled with this person. You don't know who they are, which means you just don't care. You don't care. If they want to carry on driving like a maniac, off you go. You don't care. And that's the difference that I found helps with the situations when you're in emotionally connected to somebody and they hurt you and you have to forgiving is the only way forward. You'll be in that complete and not a spinning hamster wheel of anger and frustration and pissed off and want to get your own back, and then you change your mind again, and it keeps going round and round and round that hamster wheel. So forgive, love and forgive. Say, look, I wish you all the best. I think it's an amazing idea, you being a male prostitute, in or transforming yourself. Yeah, off you go. Do it. Let them go. Send them love and light and forgive them. It does take a lot of work, that. So why don't you do a little exercise and think about the person that pisses you off the most, a neighbor or something like that, someone that's around that you're kind of emotionally invested with because you see them a lot and you can't get away from it. Um, Move to the stage if you just don't care. Like, imagine your neighbors storing a load of stuff in the back garden, old prams and half motorcycle parts and things like that. And every time you come out, it just looks ugly. Um, and then you say to yourself, I just don't care. My garden's fine. Obviously it's going to affect you if you're trying to sell your house and things like that. But give yourself a little exercise about who to forgive. I'm trying to think of one for me, actually. Who really gets someone else? There isn't really anybody that gets someone else. I get up out of bed every day with a spring in my step and a smile on my face, and I'm enthusiastic to get up. I'm happy that I'm blessed. Do I have anybody? Yeah, I do know someone, actually, a male friend of mine that just constantly disappoints me, convinces me he's changed and he's got a really bright plan, and then he just screws it all up. So, but I do forgive him anyway because he's lost. And there's another thing that should be on the list. Lost people. Because here's what I always say about lost people. A great analogy so you can understand it. Are you following, guys? Let me see with the Q&A. There's nothing in the Q&A. Oh, we lost a lot of people on that. No, we didn't on the blackout. Um, anything that I should know that you want to put down there, Jennifer friends under the I try not to read this chat doing that because it takes away from my channeling. Um, here's Avery. I may be losing a friendship of over 30 years because she's upset with me and I don't know why. She's going to write me a letter to tell me. Since the pandemic, our interests have changed. I'm more into politics and freedom, and she doesn't have any interest. She's focused on her grandparents. Okay, yeah. Let's see what the letter says. It'd be interesting that. Here's something nice. This it's easy to forgive if you start praying, blessing the person, and always realize that is God's forgiveness in us and through us that actually forgives the person. I like that. I like that. I'm going to write something down now that they've just sent me. Um, I tell you what, before we start on Lost Pit, we'll finish this and let them know. Right, with forgiveness, here's the thing. Let's say it's an ex-husband and you didn't do very well in the divorce, or vice versa. Your wife did very well in the divorce. Um, you really get that energy of you really want justice. It's great, isn't it? Justice. You want justice. You feel that justice hasn't been served. Justice hasn't been served. No, I've absolutely experienced this and quite recently. That's not fair. I didn't deserve to be treated like that. I didn't deserve this to happen to me. I've got a good heart. Um, actually, the girl today said she was very surprised how much love I have inside my heart. She said it's just overflowing, overflowing. Good, that, isn't it? It is overflowing. It's like that. Justice. You want justice. You feel that you were victimized and you lost and it was unfair. Now, justice is a thing because justice, if you don't let control that emotion, it's going to lead into vendettas and vengeance. Venganza, venganza is the Spanish word for revenge. Some people think it's revenge, but that's just Spanish people reading the word revenge in a Spanish accent. Revenge. It's true. Somebody's done that to me. Revenge. See, when you want to get someone back. I said, oh, you mean venganza? Yeah, but it's revenge. I said, no, it's revenge. Revenge. Mm. I don't know what we've done to that. Have you tried that new liposomal curcumin? This one, it's fantastic. You can drink it, drink it like Fanta. Um, justice. Okay, so justice will turn into vengeance, and vengeance. Who said vengeance is mine? Come on, give me the quote. I want to see that written. Vengeance is mine. Who said that? God. Yes. Vengeance is mine, so saith the Lord. And that is the rule about justice. Let the divine take care of it within reason. Now, you want justice, you want to feel that, the wicked have been punished. I guarantee it, God will sort them out. God will sort them out. So I've been accused recently of wanting revenge, and I said, I don't want revenge. God will sort it out for me, and I'll be a front row watching. And it's true. You'll eventually be shown what justice has come, or you'll hear from somebody that justice is being served. They got divorced, or the person that they ran away with cheated on them, and he ends up with nobody because you were too good for him, and the woman that he left you for was a total psychotic bitch. Oh, she's a little bit psycho. Karmic justice. Yeah, who said that? Alex. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, that's it. Karmic justice is served by God, and he serves it cold. So try to be the forgiving side and letting go. And if you get stuck on the justice side, remember, vengeance is mine, so saith the Lord. And it's really true. I've seen so many people over the years. It doesn't take overnight. That's the only thing. You've got to be really patient. Sometimes it takes a couple of years. Um, I mean, I saw somebody recently I remember was scamming down here. He was doing holiday rentals and taking the money and then renting the same house to five or six different couples. And then whoever turned up first basically got the house. But I saw him a few years later, he looked terrible. He was withdrawn, and he looked skeletal. I was like, what the hell? Is that him? So there you go. Now, lost people. Um, you can't help everybody, guys. Imagine you're on a ship and the ship is sinking and everybody's in the water. You don't have a life jacket on, but you're a really good swimmer because you've given your life jacket away to a kid or a woman or somebody that needs it. But there's a very large, portly gentleman. Do you understand what the word portly means for our American friends? It's purple, this bracelet, by the way. I got it. I was given it by the guy when I was at Jadash, the Roman ruins where Jesus was. So it's the only thing I ever worn, really. I don't know why I like it so much, but it's really comfortable. I don't wear jewelry, but I love this. Um, Portly. Come on, answer the question, stay on track. Do you know what the word portly means? No, it does not mean fluffy. Portly means fat, chubby. So, yes, rotund. Chubby, Pamela's put. That, yeah, a portly gentleman is in the water with you and he's swimming around and he's saying, I can't swim very well. Please help me. And what you'll do is you'll go over there because you're a confident swimmer, you're young, you go over there and the guy will pull you down with him because he'll be panicking, thrashing around in the water. As soon as you get next to him, he's going to pull your head under and you'll drown with him. And this is the same with lost people. You can't always save everybody. And God knows I've tried. My God, have I done my penance and that. I'm like the homeless person for lost people. You know what I mean? The one that's always down the shelter saying, another bowl of soup. Of course you don't smell that bad. I shouldn't say that's a bad joke, isn't it? I'd take that back. I'm sorry, God. God. Um, I've done my penance for that, trying to help lost people over and over and over, like beating a dead horse. There's just no point. So don't waste your time, play with the lost people scenario. Talk to them a little bit about what they want to do and where they're going wrong. But I find most lost people, they they talk the talk but won't walk the walk. Oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, shadow. Yeah, I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to quit drugs. Yeah, yeah, I've been looking for a job. Yeah, yeah. They haven't. They've just been sitting out begging a few dollars, scoring a little bit of whatever they smoke or sniff or whatever, and getting a couple of cans of beer down them and getting in that zone where they're like, I just don't, the pain is gone. So don't waste your time on lost causes, guys. Do the godly thing. Try to help who you can, but don't swim up to the fat man in the water because he'll pull you down. He'll pull you down. So, divine guidance. We hear this a lot. Trust in divine guidance. Hard one to do, isn't it? Sitting around waiting for divine guidance or a sign up for him to get your rent paid. You need to be proactive, but this is where people get mixed up. Oh, yeah, I believe in God, but I've been sat in a house for 3 years and he hasn't helped me. I've been unemployed for 3 years. I've been single for 3 years. I've been overweight for 3 years. I've been underweight for 3 years. Whatever the year amount is and whatever the problem is, people always blame God for it because they haven't been proactive. But trusting in divine guidance and trust in the divine, I think, is just the basic one. Trust in, I wrote down trust in divine guidance is only something you're going to get if you're worth it. Are you worth it for him to give you the divine guidance? Are you able to discern it? Are you able to translate it? Are you able to enforce it? Are you able to put it in place? If he sends you a true sign, and I'm guilty of that. I've had sign after sign after sign. I'm just like, no, no, no. I saw it, but I was like, and I'm going to ignore it because I didn't connect it at the time. And I'll give you the case example so you know. 3 times before I was thrown in jail in the States, they removed my one visa, then they removed my FBI clearance, then they removed my flight clearance, so I couldn't fly any planes over America. So it was 3 things. God always works in threes and sevens. 3 things, 3 times a lady. 3 things. I ignored them. And in the end, they forcibly removed me from America because I wasn't supposed to be there. So trust in divine guidance. You've also got to have the skills and knowledge to interpret the signs that he's going to send you so you can deploy the information he wants you to use. Simple as that. But if you haven't done the work, you're not going to get the signs. So don't sit on the sofa playing Xbox or whatever the latest one is, or eating Doritos and watching kung fu movies till 4 in the morning. I didn't do that last night at all. No, I didn't. Um, you got to be proactive. You got to go looking for it. You got to show that you're worthy of divine guidance to receive divine guidance. It just makes sense, doesn't it? Are you worthy of divine guidance? No? Well, shut up then. You're not going to get any. Simple as that. Trust in divine guidance. It works. You absolutely take my word for it because I use it every day and I get signs and signals every day because I'm looking for them and I use it and I interpret it properly and I enforce. I don't enforce it. What's the word? I use it. And there's another word that I've forgotten somewhere. I use it. I'm sharing it with you right now. So any guidance and any tips and any information I get, I pass it on up the line. I make sure everybody understands about it. And here we are. Now, sitting in your decisions. We talked about this another little while ago. Are you in control of your emotions or are your emotions control of you? My exes hate it when I say that to them because it really makes them furious when they're sitting there going, seething at me and I'm just all relaxed. Some of the times I just start laughing. I was like, you really think that's it? Why are you so emotionally connected to this? Um, who's in control of you? Are you in control of your emotions? Your emotions are controlling you. You need to control your emotions. It is a fight invoking statement, and I can see there'll be a lot of women in there saying that's bad of you, but it's true. You can use it as well, girls. It's not exclusively reserved for men to use. It isn't, but it's about sitting on your decisions and your emotions because I make decisions really quickly. I don't need to sit on them all night. Tell you what I do. Somebody will say something to me, and I'll connect in, say, no. Oh, yeah, but okay, I like this one. I have a feeling immediately for it. It takes me no time. And then if there's a few things I'm not in the mood to talk about, like I'll see one person, I'm like, who exactly is that? I'll call them and say, I'll give you a call tomorrow, and I'll say, hey, the guy that was with you, what's his story? Because often you get a situation where this partner's saying, listen, I didn't get, what's his story? It means I didn't get a good feeling off somebody in the room, or there was something else that's stopping me make a decision, yes or no. Um, so sit on your decisions overnight if you have to. Don't feel pressure to get them all done straight away, even if people are asking you to. Don't sit on them. You say, let me sit on that. Let me sit on that. Let me think on that. Let me feel into that. It's a better way of saying it. Don't use the word think. Let me feel into that. That's what you should do. I've got 4 questions in there. A bit Dr. Park. Okay. Where's Nick Sylvester been? I don't know. I was going to ring him up tonight actually and get on there, but I wanted to talk to you alone. I wanted a nice one-on-one little private session with you for New Year's and everything. Um, Here's another great question you can ask yourself. How much do you really want to ascend? Do you really want it? Do you really want to be an ascended being? You don't have to go all the way to the top, an ascended master, but do you really want this journey? Do you really want to improve yourself? Do you really want to tune in and feel the power of spirit every day moving? And I tell you, I laugh out loud every day, just the stuff he does. It makes me laugh. And I don't know if he just does it with me because it's my sense of humor, but it makes me laugh. Like I saw I saw some man today walking in high heels, and it was just hilarious. You're not fooling anybody. Just some guy walking in women's shoes, and he had sort of long trousers on, but they were kind of flared at the bottom. They weren't jeans or trousers, and I just noticed he had women's shoes on, and he was difficulty walking, and I just found it hilarious. So he does stuff like that to me. He say, "Hey, have a look at that over there." Yeah, I let him do that. He's say, why would you let him do that? It looks stupid. But yeah, how much do you really want this journey? How much do you really want the reward? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Do you want to go through all this work? Are you focused on it? Do you want to say, yes, I want to feel that. I want to be able to sit back and say, oh my God, that feels amazing. I want to feel the energy and the power coming up through my feet as I put them on grass and the earth. Have you felt that yet? That's amazing. You put your feet on the grass and just go, oh, I feel that. I never have shoes on. In fact, I'm not wearing shoes now, but I'm on a carpet, but I've got socks on. But in the summer, I never have shoes on. I'm walking everywhere without shoes. Not everywhere. I don't walk on streets and things, but all around the house, I go down to the pool from my place into the car park, get something out of the car that I've forgotten. I keep my shoes off. So ask yourself, do you really want this journey? Because if you're just like a part timer, well, I'll have a little look at it, maybe I'll do a couple of things, I'll do a change. No, you got to be committed. Any journey, you got to be committed to what comes around the next corner. And that's it. Are you committed to doing it? So ask yourself that. Because if you're just like, well, I'm curious about it, that's fine too. I like that. I like that you're curious. I like that you're listening. I like that you're watching. It's a good sign that you are preparing. Like, okay, that interests me because look at what we've done. We've gone from geopolitical and doing all. We started out with Lee Dawson and doing all those crazy videos, which were hilarious. And then we've got into the Charlie Ward, and then we got into the political. Then it was just me. And that look where we are now. Look how we've all evolved and changed. And we don't get high numbers anymore because people watch them. But you know, two, three, 4,000 people watch every show that I know of that I can track. And I'd say it's more. It's probably three times that because people download it and share it. Um, but look at the journey we've had, and that's what you really need to ask yourself. How's it? Is it all worth it? Somebody said, "How's Lee doing?" I haven't seen him. I bumped into him a few times last year, did I? Or the year before? I think he's doing okay. He's in his gym thing, he's doing that. Um, we've done let the divine lost people identifying addictions. How much do you really want to ascend? Trust in divine guidance. Sit on decisions. Don't let the emotions make them for you. Forgiving people that hurt you. Understanding yourself to understand others. Are you prepared to learn new things? People will disappoint you, but you should switch that around and surprise them. So you cut them off the pass. And we talked about justice. Yeah, we've covered everything on the list. Lost people, we've covered everything on the list, guys. That's good. And that's actually bang on top of the hour. How good was that? I'm going to the airport tonight to pick up a friend, and he's coming in from a cold country, so he's going to be a little bit late because they're de-icing the plane. That's how cold it is. But let's go back to recap. Everything I talked to you about is sent to me from them. Now, I didn't realize I had this much abilities, but it has been amplified. But the channeling that I get is my main goal is to make people aware of who they really could be if they want to do the work. That's it. And I'm telling it to you in a way, I'm not saying I can't say that. I'm telling it to a way that you can understand. See, he says things and it's funny, but he said something a little bit more derogatory. That tell those, he didn't swear. He said, dim-witted. Some of the dim-wits out there. It's not for you watching. Maybe this is the dim-wits. It's the way that I tell you and give you the information that'll help you make your own decisions on how to do it. And that's it. I'm just going to keep doing this every week, and I'll take my camera along, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to come up. I have a feeling 2026, yes, he's just screamed at me. It's going to be a monster year. He just said it's going to be a monster year. It's going to be a monster year, whatever that means, like a huge year. I'm crying laughing. See what I mean? He's sarcastic. He's funny, that voice. So it's going to be a very shut up. I'm trying to get the show finished. Um, it's going to be a crazy year. It's going to be a really busy year for all of us. We're all going to change. Maybe there's something in that glutathione. We're going to change quite a lot if we're willing to accept the changes and open up our hearts to the changes. Then it'll all be given to us of what we truly desire. Is that? Yeah, truly desire will be delivered. And that's all I'm going to say. He'll probably go quiet now when I'm off air. He's trying to screw me up. I keep saying he, but it isn't a male voice. It's not a male voice. It's kind of just there. Oh, guys, I'm sorry, but at least it's authentic, isn't it? It's me being authentic. So there you go. That's tonight's show. I hope you enjoyed it. We had a weird one, didn't we? The power's cut off. I'm working off my phone, but we got through it. And I'll see you on Tuesday. Maybe I'll invite somebody interesting on Tuesday. Let's see if Nick Sylvester's around. Yeah, and we'll go from there. In the meantime, I wish you such an amazing 2026. Take it by the bull by the horns, guys. Make it your own because this is one of the biggest years in astrology wise. Everyone's screaming it's going to be a massive monster. It's going to be a monster year. He's done it again. I'm sure it's him doing it, messing me. It's going to be a monster year. So take advantage of it. And I'm going to be here guiding you as best I can. Okay. So in the meantime, have a great week and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye bye, everybody. All right. I've told them.